Hey, good evening. This is John from Two Does Bees and Gardens. We're going to take you on a little evening adventure with us. I have a swarm of bees in a swarm trap, a flower pot swarm trap, and we're going to go pick that up. You probably can't tell how evening it is because the camera is adjusting, but we're going to take you with us and you can see what we got. Well, it's dark and I'm getting a little bit of a shadow on my face. We just got back picking up the swarm of bees. It's too dark to really show you anything, so I'll bring you back out there tomorrow morning when we open up the door for the bees and you can see what we brought home tonight. Oh, good morning. It's the next morning after collecting the swarm last night, a swarm trap. You can see it in the background behind me. It's that round flower pot. There's two flower pots and they're stuck together. And all I'm going to do this morning is open the end of it that I sealed off with some screen last night so I could transport them. Let me show you what that looks like, and we'll open them up and let them out, let them get oriented to their new location, my bee yard. So here you can see the swarm trap. You can see the eye hooks where I hang it in a tree. It's just wrapped by duct tape, white duct tape, and then the entrance is sealed off right now with just some window screen. And if you look closely, let's see if I can get you in there, you'll be able to see the bees. First, I'm going to shore up this swarm trap and then let them out, and then in a day or two we'll actually move them into a hive or a nuke box. You can see there's an existing beehive there. And let's get them going. So you can see I've got that put a piece of wood there just to give them a way to orient the beehive so it's more vertical and won't move around. And the bees are coming out. They're checking out their new location. They'll do orientation flights, and once they're all settled, we'll move them into a new box. And now that we've got that done, see if I can keep them in the background. So now that we've got them opened up, I can go back inside, get some coffee, start my day, and maybe get some breakfast along the way as well. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see you again soon. Hey, morning, this is John from Two Does Bees and Gardens, and today I'm putting some swarm traps together, a couple different kinds. Figure I'd bring you along, and then at the end of the day, afternoon, I'm going to get some lunch before we go, but we're going to go put these swarm traps out. So let me show you what we got going. These are my flower pot swarm traps, and I'm going to show you how I put one together. Basically, I'm going to just put in two deep frames, and before I do, I'm going to coat the frames with some processed beeswax. You can see it's got, this came from the bees, it's got some dark coloration from whatever the bees were in before. And these are just some old frames. Actually, this one's probably new, but this is an old frame, it's been used before. This frame is almost new. Take some of this wax that we processed from the bees and rub it onto the frame. And the reason we're doing this is the smell of bees attracts bees, and I like to give the bees a reason to come and visit my swarm traps. So we've got these two frames. I'm just going to put in two frames. This template we made will hold four, but for the swarm trap, the flower pot swarm traps, the two outside can only be mediums, and I really don't like mixing my frames if I don't have to, because sure as I put the medium frames in there, the bees are going to take advantage of it and use those frames to put them into a deep, which I really don't want to do. Okay, so you can see I've got a hold on this side, now I've got a hold on this side, and now we're just going to put these into the flower pot. You can see this flower pot I've taped up and closed up the bottom, the holes on all the holes on the bottom, and this frame will just sit right in there. And then on this side you can see that all the holes are closed except for one. This will be where the bees enter into the swarm trap, and we just put them together like that. Actually, before I do that, you can see that I've got the template into the bottom of the swarm trap, and at this point it's a good idea to actually fasten this into, I use the eye hook. There's a hole right through here, and I can go right into this portion. It's just a support bar that holds the template that I can use an eye bolt to screw into. And all that does is hold the frame upright, and it also gives me a place to put a bungee cord around a branch in a tree. That ought to hold that. So that's the one good thing about these fiber pots, is that there's a little bit of flexibility in them, so I can kind of work with them a little bit and shape them to how I want to get them lined up. And now the last part that I have to do is screw these two pots together, and I just use tiny deck screws, and I just go from the top one down to the bottom one. There's nothing that's going to hold, you know, these fiber pots will tear very easily, but I just want enough connection so that, you know, it'll give it some rigidity in the middle. And these pots have been used for years. I've caught over 50, maybe 60 swarms in these actual pots, and these pots are probably 5 to 6 years old now. What I did was I actually put some Thompson's water seal on these pots when I first put them together. I try to put in as few of these screws as I can, because like I said, they will, you know, ultimately degrade the center of these pots, and there's not much to them. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I had a few extra screws left there. No one can say that I have a screw loose. So the last thing I want to do before I call these pots finished is I want to wrap the center with tape, and that's just to give some weather protection to the swarm trap, so we don't have water going in through the center of the trap. And it also helps with light, keeps the light out of the trap. And I usually take the tape around a couple of times, one around the center and then two to hold that center in place. And that's probably good enough. And I just fold over the end, so it's much easier for me when I come to take this apart with bees in it. And then once it's done, I just kind of wrap around, try and stick that tape down as best I can. And like I said, it's really just for trying to keep rain out and to keep the sun, keep the light out. And these have been very successful. And there we have it. There's a nice flower pot swarm trap. And we'll go hang this here in a little bit after lunch. I'm at my first location to put up a swarm trap. It's already up. Let me show you what it looks like. You can see it's hung in the tree, got the bungee cord. I'm just gonna put some swarm commander on the entrance and then call this one done.